I don't know why I feel so strongly about this topic, but how I've been treated at restaurants, it's just, I can't even imagine if everybody else is feeling the same way. And I thought it was such a good topic because it's everywhere in the country. All you see is videos on YouTube and everything about these places, and they're fighting and arguing and screaming, and customers are, you see it in shootings and you name it. I don't know. I was thinking about it. I'm like, I'm going to drive around because it just gives me a reason to get out of the house and drive around. I'm like, me and you guys that are going to watch this, we're going to drive around and we're going to see how many people are actually at these places. I remember we're at just off of rush hour here when you couldn't even get in the drive-thru up here at Dairy Queen. And I'm only going to guess so that it doesn't look like I'm biased. I'm just going to take a guess at the time, and we're going to drive by together and take a look, and then I'll pop the camera off. We'll see. I used to come here all the time, used to be treated good. I used to get value for my money. What happened to our society? Seriously, what happened? You know how much we used to enjoy food in America? It's almost like a religion. It's a religion. It really is. We don't have much. Everybody's, got something going on in their lives that sucks. We're all going through shit, health problems maybe, or we got family problems, or we got money problems. America's in a tough spot. Everybody knows it. Whether or not your neighbors are trying to hide it and everybody's acting like everything's okay, we all know that America's not doing well. It used to be great. Didn't you remember growing up in the late 90s, early 2000s, how nice society was? All we want is food. That's it. Sometimes that's all we need is some comfort. And we used to get it. Don't you remember how much joy we used to have going to restaurants and getting a good meal for a decent price, and it filled that craving? Or it was almost like a religion is the only way to say it, right? It was a religion. And I was thinking about that today, and I'm like, I'm going to drive by because I want to show and see this. We're right by the Packer Stadium. I just passed it, which is pretty cool and everything. Right in the busiest part of West Side. You couldn't even I remember waiting a half hour. My van would overheat. I hooked up a switch just to sit in drive-thrus to have the fan run full time, because you could wait a half hour to get food. And I'm talking less than a couple years ago. I think it all started during the pandemic, but I can't remember. I'm sure it was somewhere around then when they stopped closing their doors and all the restaurants started closing early. We're going to see right now how many people are in this drive-thru. Like I said, I used to wait sometimes 35 minutes, 30 minutes. Look at this. Let's see what we got. This used to be so packed. It ain't bad, but it ain't nothing like it used to be. We used to have a line. It would go through 2 parking lots. What do we got in here? 1 car there. You got... Those are the workers in the back, probably smoking dope. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 cars. This used to be so packed that you couldn't even get in here. I'm telling you, the line used to go through here. I used to wait in line, and I shit you not, for 30 minutes to get food here. Now I put the double blinkers on like an idiot. I accidentally bumped it. I used to wait 30 minutes to get food here at this time, 6 o'clock. 30 minutes. Now you could drive up there, you'd be in and out in like a minute or two. I'm telling you guys, it's because of how they treat people. It's going to slow down even more. You watch. We're going to go by, and don't even get me started on Taco Bell. We're going to go by here. I'm probably better off putting the camera on the road. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyway, this topic for some reason, I used to just, man, I remember going to Culver's is still pretty good, but I remember going to these places, and when's the last time you went to Taco Bell and got a 12-pack? It's $30-some. For 10 tacos, it's like 27 bucks for 10 tacos, and they don't even put meat or lettuce on it. They give you an attitude. Last time I was here, there was a guy smoking a cigarette in the drive-through window. Yep. I really should probably turn the camera around so you guys can get a sight, but it'll give you guys a drive. Yeah, I'm going to turn it around. F it. I'll pull in here and turn it around quick. So you guys can see the scene. You don't want to look at my face. I used to go up here at this Taco Bell. You would have to wait in line for, I don't know, at least 15 minutes at 6 something at night. Now, I'll give some of these restaurants like this Texas Roadhouse up here credit. They still treat people good, and that place is packed, and their prices are expensive, but they got some of the best workers in town, and they treat everybody with respect. But let's go take a look at this. I'm talking more or less fast food restaurants. Because the funny thing is, in the restaurant industry, the big time restaurant like Texas Roadhouse and those places, they'll go out of business. But let's go see what it's like to go to a Taco Bell now. And look at this. This is rush hour, okay? Nighttime rush hour, 6 o'clock. Look at the traffic. You would never get yourself a taco in under, the line used to be so long that you wouldn't even, they're treating people so bad and their prices are so absolutely ridiculous. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm telling you, we're going to have a big change in this country. Something's coming. And people think I'm crazy. They think I'm talking nuts all the time. They're like, yeah, nothing will change. Americans are fat and they'll eat. It don't matter the price. Let's look. You've never been able to go to a Taco Bell at 6 o'clock, not in Green Bay, right by the fucking huge mall, and just drive right through. Look at this. And I'm not setting this up. I just drove through randomly. Look at this. Let's take a look. Not a fucking car here. Look at it. And you're telling me this isn't because of how people are treating people? Look at it. Not a single car here at 6 o'clock. They got a couple in the parking lot, but those are workers. Look at it. Look, we're talking, this is rush hour, people. We used to come here, you couldn't even come through here. You'd have to, the line, you'd never be able at 6 o'clock, be able to just drive up, order food. No way. Not at this time. Look at nobody in here. I'm going to drive right through. Because they treat people like shit. A 12-pack of tacos for $30. $30. And I'm not exaggerating. I think it's more than that. I think it was almost, I'll look it up later. But let's just drive around here and see. How about Arby's? There ain't going to be a soul there. Let's be honest. Longhorn, look at Chick-fil-A. You know how they treat people because they're religious and they treat everybody with respect. They got a line right around the building over at Chick-fil-A there on the left. Look at Arby's. Look at this. We're talking rush hour, people. One car in the drive-thru. One. One car. Look at it. One car. And you tell me there ain't something different going on in America? Look at this. Rush hour, there is one car in the drive-thru. I'm telling you, but you'll see these bigger restaurants, they got business, but what's that really mean, you know? Certain people can afford to go to a restaurant like that. Normal people wanted to just go, it was like a religion. We'd go get a burger and it was something to just relieve our stress of the day, you know, or just, society's completely gone. I'm telling you, man, the way they treat people. I told you the guy was blowing smoke at me and I paid 30 some bucks for 12 tacos. And when he said it, my heart almost fell out of my chest. $36. It was some ridiculous number for 12 tacos, and they didn't even have lettuce or cheese in them. It's just sad, the world we're living in. There you go. That's just 2 places I drove by. I just thought this was just a great topic. Other than that, about how society's devolving, you know, like it's just never going to be the same again, I don't think. People aren't going to waste their hard-earned money to go to a place that treats them that bad, you know? And those used to be some of the best restaurants, Arby's and Dairy Queen. We're losing the best places with the best food because they don't pay their employees. Nobody wants to work there. Are you going to go to work for $12 an hour, you know? $12 an hour, no insurance. Are you going to go and work and have people screaming at you because your company's trying to charge? They'll charge. You go to Arby's or Dairy Queen or any of these places, you're getting charged for 2 people $40 minimum. Don't even tell me you're not. I don't care how many coupons you got. You're getting charged $30-40 minimum. Anyway, I don't have much going on in my life, and I wanted to just drive around, and I thought I came up with a good topic, you know? To kill a half hour and just make a stupid little video, but it's just sad. There's another Taco Bell up around this corner that's right off the highway. I could drive over there and show you. It's just sad. And you get a look at the city, and maybe I could come up with a story to tell. Just a little night drive and talk, but yeah, it used to be religious. You'd have a bad day or something would go wrong, or there was nothing like just spending. Yeah, it used to cost for a person $15, $20. You get all you can eat. I mean, how many tacos could you get back in the day, you know? They used to be 69 cents for a taco. Now they're over $2.50 for a single taco with nothing in it. Literally, it's almost $3 for a taco at Taco Bell, and they're fucking trash. I mean, they are bad, you know? I'm a crazy driver. I'm not gonna lie to you. I get people upset all the time. I don't know, it just kind of broke my heart today. It's like, because I got to eat more sloppy joes, and that's not bad, but it's like, man, I really felt like I wanted to go out and get something to eat today, you know? And I'm thinking, heaven forbid. So I'm not gonna. I got the money. I refuse to spend it. And I'll tell you what, if there's anybody out there, I know there's a big problem because guy like me that's choosing not to eat out, there's a huge problem because I'm one of the people that's never been cautious with my money when it comes to eating out. I'll spend $50 at Culver's. I'll buy two dinner platters. If I know that I get my money's worth, I got no problem spending money going out to eat at all. I mean, I'm frivolous with that type of spending. I wear cheap clothes and stuff and dress comfortably in that, but and on cars, I'm pretty tight to the hip, but when it comes going to restaurants, man, I splurge with the best of them. I'll get everything on the menu to satisfy an urge and make myself feel a little bit better. And if a guy like me has decided after all he's been treated the last couple years is not going to go out to eat anymore, there's a big problem in this country. And I wonder what the landscape's going to look like in the future, because these companies, there's no way they're going to print profit. There's no way. Even charging double, and they are charging double over the last 5 years, even charging double what they charge, they're not getting it. There's no way they're getting enough traffic to make up for the business they've lost, the way they treated people. They could have charged double if they would have offered a good attitude and their employees would have treated everybody decently, but they haven't. Let's see how many we got. This is rush hour right off the main highway in Green Bay. Right over there to the left. You have 2 cars in the drive-thru over there. That's it. At Taco Bell. 2. Let's drive through and take a look. 2 cars. Right at dinner time, we're talking. There's 1 car in the drive-thru left at Taco Bell. Right off the main highway. Used to be just packed. You got the airport right here. You got Oneida. You got the casino. This place used to just have a line right around the building. Look at, they've treated people so bad. Look at this. This is dinner time, people. One car. You can go to any restaurant in town. This is what you're going to see everywhere you go. Every fast food restaurant you go to. Look at it. Nobody in the drive-thru, and I'm not ordering. I'm just driving through for my video to show you how I felt about it. Look at it. Last car pulling out at dinner time. Nobody even wants to deal with it anymore. One car. And they probably treated that guy so bad he'll never come back again. I can't say for sure, but I wouldn't doubt it. They probably treated that guy so bad that he'll never come back. That's what's going to happen. Yeah, one car at dinner. I could keep driving to them. It's to the point, I think, where people are like, you know what? I'd rather just go to Quick Trip and get 2 burgers for $5. Why wouldn't you? That doesn't even seem expensive anymore. I used to say, what the hell? 2 burgers for $5 is a ripoff. Now I say, what a deal. You get 2 burgers. You can top them with whatever you want at Quick Trip. Pick whichever ones you want out of the dish. You get a large slushie. You get a whole meal for $9, $7 to $9. And the people treat you good at Quick Trip. That's why they're popping up everywhere. They just opened another one. They're everywhere. We just went through 3 drive-thrus. What did you see? Empty, empty, empty. That's why McDonald's will be packed all the way around because they offer all them online coupons. You can still get, if you take advantage of their coupons online, you can still get it, you can still get burgers and a couple large fries for $20. If you're using their online deals and you have to use your mobile app though. Don't get me wrong. Don't try to go to if you don't use the mobile app, you're going to pay $40. You have to, but if you're using the mobile app and you're giving them the stupid little number at the window and you pull up, not only are they going to greet you with a smile, but you can get a meal for 2 for $20. You still can. It's not good food, but these other people that go in there and say Big Macs are $8. Yeah, if you go to the drive-thru window, but without going on your app, you're going to pay that kind of money. But you're not going to pay that kind of money if you're using your mobile app. You can still get a couple burgers, a couple large fries, a couple sodas, blah, blah, blah for $20. Just got to use that app. But either way, that's not what the point is. The point is, look at this. Just look at what we've seen already. We went to 3 restaurants. We've seen the only one that had traffic was Chick-fil-A. And you wonder why? It's not because they're a religious organization. No, it's because of how they hire their workers. Come on, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Let's get to the truth of it. It's the workers. It's how they're treating people. They treat you so bad that the other day at Dairy Queen, they destroyed my dinner. Over $3, $30. I had a $3 coupon, and they read the fine print and tried to tell me that because they added barbecue sauce on my 6-piece chicken strip basket, that I wouldn't get the $3 off. How ridiculous is that? Who treats people like that? It completely put a bad taste in my mouth, and I said I'll never go back over $3. And we just drove by there. They had 3 cars when they used to have a half-hour wait. That's the America we're living in now, folks, and it's sad. It really breaks my heart because, like I said, for a lot of us single guys that are just looking for something at night, it was like a religion to go out and get food at a place, hot food, and it brought you back memories of maybe high school or maybe spending time with your family, or it brought you back to a better place, and now we don't even have that in America anymore. I've been thinking about my channel and stuff. I have to get topics with a broader range of viewing, but that's not what I'm doing this video for today. I'm just doing it because it was a topic that I found interesting, and it's part of what I've been feeling this week. So I thought I'll give a drive and chat just for the heck of it. I know I got like 10 people that don't mind hearing me talk, and I figured I'd just get it out there to keep just keep a video every day, but I got to come up with serious, better topics. On the right there, Southwest High School. My brother lives up here on the left at an apartment, which went from, don't get me started on rents. His rent went from like nothing. It's all the way up to like $1,000. He can hardly afford to live anymore. Ain't gonna say much else about that, but on the left there, used to be like $350 a month to have a 2-bedroom apartment. Now it's $1,000. Let's take a look here. Let's take a look. You know, Subway don't have nobody anymore. Well, how many does Hardee's have on the left here? 1 car. 1 single car. Even McDonald's is empty. People, you just saw Chick-fil-A with half of cars wrapped around all the way into the mall parking lot. Why do you think that is? Because they have a strict, they pay their employees well, and they have a strict hiring policy. Their employees are not going to be out there saying something bad to their customers. It's like In-N-Out. I worked at In-N-Out. They're also very tight-knit organization. I don't know if they consider themselves a religious organization, but they are. They treat customers with respect. Yes, sir. Yes, I'll make that happen. If you got a coupon and it's expired, they're not going to give you a hard time. They're going to take it right off your meal. They're going to treat you like one of their family members. You know? And you've seen the line they had around the building. They hire employees that treat people well. Look at Subway. They're open. I could pull right up to the door. Not a single customer because of how they treat people. Throwing nubs. They don't even clean out the vegetables like they used to. I've worked at them. I know what they're doing. Charging $20 a sub and they don't even treat you good. They blow you off. Last time I was in one, they were TikToking. They were fucking TikToking. They were making a TikTok video last time I was here. I walked in and 2 girls were TikToking instead of answering the... And it's not that they even pay bad. Look at it. Not one person in there, I'll bet you any money, at dinner. Not one. Not a soul. Look at it. You see in there? Not one single person here. $20 a sub. You're going out of business. Good luck. Not one person. Harbor Freights is a great place. They treat people decent. Always busy. I wouldn't be surprised to see one day they take over the whole world, Harbor Freight, and they move into other things. Let's take a look at McDonald's here. Even McDonald's doesn't have anybody at dinner in their drive-thru, and this place used to be this was the busiest restaurant in Green Bay. Look at 1 car in the drive-thru. 1. Hardee's, don't even make me laugh. This is gonna make me laugh. Look at. Look at. How are you even in business? How are you even in business charging $20 for a meal? Treat people like you do. Look at this. Not one person. How long do you really think they can maintain being in business like this? Not one person here. I could go from restaurant to restaurant. You're telling me that things ain't changing in this country? Oh, something's about to give, I'm telling you. They either go back to the old ways or we ain't gonna have nothing left for the people that like fast food. How are they gonna make money, you tell me, treating people the way they do and they don't have a single person in the drive-thru anymore? They think Americans are so stupid. If we were so stupid, why ain't there nobody at your restaurants anymore? And this isn't like some fucking little town. This is the Green Bay Packers here. I just drove you by the stadium. I drove you by the airport. Man, I hope they all get exactly what they deserve because they all deserve it too. It's got me so happy to see this. I only went out and did this, just to kind of get a video out and stuff. But I took a chance that I could have been proven wrong. People, it's Friday night. I started at 6:30, it's 7. Think about that. Those are some of the busiest times to go to a restaurant, 6 and 7. I just drove you by the Packer Stadium for a couple restaurants. and all the way out to the airport and around the west side, some of the biggest major areas in town. And we saw 10 cars total in all their drive-thrus when they all used to be just packed for supper for their kids. And shame on this country. Shame on them. Shame on what it is. I want to blame the employees, but it's hard because who wants to work for $10 an hour, no insurance, and then be told that they have to treat people right? And I mean, we did as kids, but I'm not comparing it to other people. I can't compare what we grew up with in our work. Man, the young guys and people now that are getting into their mid-30s and 40s are grew up in a different time where you really grew up with we treated people, when we went to work like that at a restaurant, we were held to a high standard everywhere we went. It was a good time in America, and we had to treat people right. You couldn't get away with what you can get away with now. You couldn't get away with this stuff. I'm a bad driver. You couldn't get away with it. If I would have treated people like I've been treated this week from Dairy Queen and Taco Bell, smoking in the drive-thru a cigarette, oh my God, I would have got torched. I think other employees would have torched me. Not only would the managers have fired me instantly, I would have been torched. I think the other employees would give it to me too, just by disrespecting the whole restaurant. That's how much pride people used to have in their job and stuff. Even your other workers, you know. I don't know. We're in a different society now. When you go to Taco Bell and there's a guy smoking a cigarette right in the drive-thru window, charging you $40 for fucking 12 tacos. 40. I tried to remember, but it was so outrageous, I almost drove off. I think it was $35 or $40 for 12 tacos, $35 or something like that. It was absolutely outrageous, put it that way. And then to pull up, give him the money and find out he's smoking a cigarette right in the drive-thru. Smoking a cigarette. Could you imagine doing that in the late 90s and early 2000s to people? Man, you would have been tossed out the drive-thru window by the employees or the boss, or you wouldn't work again in town. It was such a different feeling. I don't know. It was just a stupid topic, but I wanted to get out of the house and I did. And I'm going to be honest with you. I got out of the house thinking about going to get something to eat, you know, and then just the bad memories of the last month came back to me and all the money I spent. And I decided to keep the money in my pocket. I'm going to go home and finish up the Sloppy Joes and use chips and dip. Use them as with my chips and dip some Sloppy Joes, maybe make a couple. And instead of paying money to these companies, I'd rather keep it in my pocket. And I'm starving. We're not going to have much left as a society. I'm telling you right now. They can say whatever they want. And they can BS everybody and say everything's going good. You've seen it right here. Don't tell me it's going good. The massage parlor is open. I think you all know why that is. And I know that they do rub and tugs at some of them. I can't point out which ones do because I've never done anything like that. But I know they do them because I had a friend that was addicted to it. He told me he was spending $250 a week or something. You know, I'm serious. I probably shouldn't say that stuff, but I don't give a shit anymore. Yep. He said he was spending $200 or $400 a week. I forgot how much. It was a lot. And he's like, you get to know which ones are this, which ones are that, and blah, 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 just by walking in. And yeah, that's why they're open 24 hours a day, some of them. Yeah. Basically legalized. You know the word. Legalized prostitution. It's whatever. Who knows if the video gets taken? I don't know what words I'm allowed to say. I don't care anymore. It's just already got 100 videos up. It's all. I don't want to say anything that's going to get me too much. They take all my videos down. The whole idea was to leave the channel up for history. So I don't have to pay for a memory book or save photos in my phone that I always break. Anyway, that was really the whole thing. I just wanted to drive around and talk about restaurants. I don't know. I thought it was a good topic, you know, like how they've treated people so bad. Literally, they've treated people. It's like they don't want you there. I don't understand it. Don't even go to Wendy's. You think these were bad. You go to Wendy's, you might get stabbed. Shot. I don't know what happened, but I've never seen nothing like it in my life where it's become this bad that people won't even go to these places anymore. Anyway, that was the topic of the day.